property values. The text from my real estate agent arrives at 4:32 p.m. while I'm reviewing my afternoon trading positions. Penthouse showing at 6 p.m. Potential buyer very interested. High net worth individual from tech sector. I immediately know this means some Bitcoin millionaire who thinks new money can buy the kind of taste that only comes from generations of inherited wealth and cultural superiority. These crypto nouveau riche are always desperate to prove they belong in the same social class as people like me who were born into it. I leave the office at 5:15 p.m. to give myself enough time to prepare the apartment for optimal psychological impact. The Tesla Cybertruck navigates through evening traffic while I listen to a podcast about serial killer psychology hosted by some former FBI profiler who thinks he understands criminal behavior because he spent 30 years interviewing people who were stupid enough to get caught. The real predators are the ones who never get interviewed because they're too intelligent to leave evidence and too sophisticated to fit the psychological profiles that law enforcement agencies use to identify suspects. The elevator ride to my penthouse takes 43 seconds, and during this time I review everything I know about tonight's potential buyer. His name is Bradley Atwood, and he made approximately $200 million from selling his cryptocurrency exchange to Coinbase before the regulatory crackdown destroyed most of his competitors. He went to Stanford for computer science and probably thinks his engineering background makes him smarter than people like me who understand that technology is just a tool for wealth extraction and social control. He's 26 years old, which means he has no understanding of how real power works or how quickly new money can disappear when the economic cycle turns against you. The apartment is $12.8 million of pure architectural perfection spread across 4,000 square feet of Hudson Yards luxury living space. The floor-to-ceiling windows provide panoramic views of Manhattan that extend from the Hudson River to Central Park to the East River. On clear days you can see all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, where container ships bring consumer goods manufactured by wage slaves in developing countries to be sold to debt slaves in developed countries. The irony is beautiful because most people who can afford to live in apartments like this have made their money by facilitating exactly this kind of global economic exploitation. I spend 20 minutes adjusting the lighting and sound system to create the perfect ambience for manipulating someone who thinks money can buy authenticity. The Lutron homework system controls every light fixture in the apartment through preset scenes that I've programmed to highlight the most impressive architectural features while minimizing any potential flaws. The Crestron audio system is playing Miles Davis' Kind of Blue at exactly the right volume to suggest sophisticated musical taste without interfering with conversation. The Nest climate control system maintains the temperature at exactly 72 degrees Fahrenheit because studies have shown that people make more impulsive financial decisions when they're completely comfortable. The kitchen is a masterpiece of German engineering featuring Miele appliances that cost more than most people's annual salaries. The refrigerator is a Sub-Zero Pro 48 that costs $18,000 and is large enough to store the dismembered remains of several adult humans if properly packaged. The range is a Wolf DF606F that costs $12,000 and burns hot enough to incinerate bone if you know the right techniques. The dishwasher is a Miele G7000 that costs $4,000 and could theoretically clean blood stains from dishes and utensils if someone were to use kitchen implements for non-culinary purposes. The master bedroom contains a king-size bed from Hayson's that costs $60,000 and is made from horsehair and Swedish pine by craftsmen who have been perfecting their techniques for generations. The sheets are Fred Egyptian cotton that costs $800 per set and feels softer than human skin when properly maintained. The mattress is designed to provide optimal spinal alignment during sleep, which is important because I need to maintain peak physical condition for activities that require strength and endurance and manual dexterity. The walk-in closet is larger than most people's entire apartments and contains clothing worth approximately $400,000 organized by season and color and fabric weight. The master bathroom features a steam shower by Mr. Steam that costs $15,000 and creates a spa-like environment perfect for relaxation and contemplation and planning elaborate revenge scenarios against people who have disappointed me professionally or personally. The bathtub is carved from a single piece of Carrara marble that weighs 2,000 pounds and cost $35,000 to transport from Italy to New York. The faucets are by Waterworks in polished chrome, and the toilet is a Toto washlet that costs $6,000 and provides the kind of personal hygiene that separates civilized people from animals. The intercom system buzzes at exactly 6 p.m., which suggests that Bradley Atwood understands punctuality and respects other people's time. This is encouraging because people who are chronically late are usually either disorganized or inconsiderate, and both traits suggest underlying character flaws that make them unsuitable for high-level financial transactions. I press the button to allow him access to the elevator that serves only the penthouse level because privacy and security are essential when you're conducting business that could result in federal prosecution if discovered by the wrong people. Bradley emerges from the elevator wearing what appears to be a Tom Ford suit in navy blue that probably costs $8,000 but doesn't fit properly across his shoulders because he ordered it online instead of having it properly tailored by someone who understands Asian body proportions. His shirt is white cotton with a spread collar, but the cuffs are too long, which suggests he doesn't understand proper shirt fit or doesn't care enough about his appearance to get his clothes altered correctly. His tie is Hermes silk in a conservative pattern, but it's tied with a 4-in-hand knot instead of a half Windsor, which indicates limited knowledge of formal dress codes. His shoes are Christian Louboutin sneakers that cost $1,200 and are completely inappropriate for apartment viewing, but probably represent his attempt to signal wealth through conspicuous consumption rather than understated elegance. His watch is an Apple Watch Ultra in titanium that costs $800 and confirms that he prioritizes technology over traditional luxury goods. His overall appearance suggests someone who has money but doesn't understand how to use money to project authentic social status. "Bradley," I say while extending my hand for a firm handshake that will establish dominance through subtle physical intimidation. "Welcome to my home. I hope you're ready to see what $12.8 million can buy in today's Manhattan real estate market." "Preston," Bradley replies with the kind of nervous energy that tech entrepreneurs display when they're trying to network with people from different social classes. "Thanks for making time to show me the place. The photos online looked incredible, but I wanted to see it in person before making any serious decisions." His handshake is weak and his palms are slightly sweaty, which suggests either social anxiety or guilty conscience about the source of his wealth. Most cryptocurrency fortunes are built on some combination of tax evasion, market manipulation, and regulatory arbitrage that would be considered criminal if applied to traditional financial instruments. The fact that crypto markets are largely unregulated doesn't make the underlying activities any less fraudulent from a moral perspective. "Let me give you the full tour," I tell Bradley while leading him toward the living room, where the evening light streaming through the floor-to-ceiling windows creates dramatic shadows that highlight the apartment's most impressive architectural features. This space was designed by Stephen Harris Architects, who specialize in luxury residential projects for clients who demand perfection in every detail. The living room contains furniture that I selected personally from Design Within Reach and Room and Board and other retailers that cater to people who want modern aesthetics without the expense of authentic mid-century pieces. The sofa is a B&B Italia Charles that costs $18,000 and is upholstered in Italian leather that feels exactly like human skin when properly conditioned. The coffee table is a Noguchi from Herman Miller that costs $3,000 and is made from solid walnut and tempered glass. The area rug is a custom piece from ABC Carpet and Home that costs $12,000 and features an abstract pattern in neutral colors that complement the apartment's overall color scheme. The windows are triple glazed for optimal energy efficiency and sound insulation, I explain while walking toward the glass wall that separates the living space from the terrace. "You can't hear any street noise even though we're only 68 floors above one of the busiest intersections in Manhattan." Bradley nods appreciatively while looking out at the view that extends from the Hudson River to Central Park to the Queensboro Bridge. The view is incredible. You can see the entire city from up here. It's like being above all the chaos and noise and confusion. This is exactly the kind of response I was hoping for because it reveals his psychological need to feel superior to the masses of ordinary people who live and work at street level. People who buy penthouses aren't just purchasing square footage and views. They're purchasing the psychological satisfaction of literally looking down on everyone else. The elevation provides both physical and metaphorical distance from the problems and struggles of normal human existence. "That's exactly why I chose this apartment," I tell Bradley while opening the sliding glass door that leads to the terrace. When you're dealing with the kind of stress and responsibility that comes with managing significant wealth, you need a sanctuary where you can escape from the demands of ordinary people. The terrace spans the entire width of the apartment and features custom landscaping by Madison Cox Garden Design that costs $80,000 to install and requires monthly maintenance that costs more than most people's rent. The furniture is from Dedon and includes a dining table that seats 8 people and lounge chairs that are perfect for entertaining clients who need to be impressed before they agree to invest their money in schemes that will eventually bankrupt them. The outdoor kitchen features a Viking grill that costs $15,000 and could theoretically be used to cook human flesh if someone were to acquire fresh ingredients through unconventional means. This outdoor space is amazing, Bradley says while running his hand along the teak railing that separates the terrace from a 68-story drop to the street below. You could throw incredible parties up here. The sunset views must be spectacular. I can tell from his body language that he's already imagining himself living here and hosting networking events for other tech entrepreneurs who think cryptocurrency will revolutionize the global financial system. What he doesn't understand is that cryptocurrency is just the latest iteration of the same wealth concentration mechanisms that have existed for centuries. The technology changes, but the underlying power dynamics remain exactly the same. Rich people use new tools to extract wealth from poor people who don't understand how the tools actually work. The master bedroom is this way, I tell Bradley while leading him toward the hallway that connects the public spaces to the private areas of the apartment. I think you'll appreciate the attention to detail in the custom closet design. The hallway features original artwork that I purchased from galleries in Chelsea and Soho, not because I appreciate artistic expression but because expensive art serves as both investment diversification and social signaling. The pieces include a Cause sculpture that cost $40,000 and a Banksy print that cost $60,000 and a Damien Hirst painting that cost $120,000. Most people who see this art assume I have sophisticated cultural taste when really I just understand that certain artists' work appreciates faster than traditional financial instruments. The master bedroom is designed around the Hassans bed that dominates the space like a monument to Swedish craftsmanship and conspicuous consumption. The headboard is custom-made from reclaimed Brazilian rosewood that cost more to import than most people spend on their entire bedroom furniture. The nightstands are from Ralph Lauren Home and feature hidden compartments that could theoretically be used to store weapons or drugs or other items that require discretion. The lighting is controlled by bedside switches that adjust both intensity and color temperature to create optimal conditions for sleep or other bedroom activities. The bed alone costs $60,000, I tell Bradley while watching his reaction to this casual display of financial excess. It's made entirely by hand using techniques that have been passed down through generations of Swedish artisans. The horsehair filling provides optimal temperature regulation and spinal support. Bradley's eyes widen slightly, which confirms that he's impressed by the price even though $60,000 represents less than 1 hour of his annual income at current valuation. The psychology of luxury consumption is fascinating because the actual utility of expensive items is often inversely related to their cost. A $60,000 bed doesn't provide 60 times more comfort than a $1,000 bed, but it does provide immeasurable psychological satisfaction from knowing that you can afford something that 99% of the population cannot. The walk-in closet is through here, I continue while opening the door to reveal approximately 400 square feet of custom millwork and organizational systems that cost more than most people's cars. California Closets designed the entire space around my specific wardrobe requirements. The closet contains approximately 200 suits organized by season and fabric weight and color intensity. The suits range from conservative business attire by Brooks Brothers and Josset, Bank to cutting-edge fashion by Tom Ford and Brunello Cucinelli to formal evening wear by Brioni and Kaiton. Each suit is hung on cedar hangers and protected by breathable garment bags that prevent dust accumulation and fabric deterioration. The shoe collection includes approximately 100 pairs organized by style and color and season with cedar shoe trees to maintain proper shape during storage. This is bigger than my first apartment, Bradley says while walking through the closet and examining the organizational systems that separate shirts by color, style, and ties by fabric, weight, and accessories by function and frequency of use. How many suits do you actually own? Around 200, I reply while calculating the total value of my wardrobe and comparing it to Bradley's net worth and determining that he could afford to replicate my entire clothing collection using approximately 0.1% of his liquid assets. Each suit serves a specific purpose for different types of business meetings and social occasions. Appropriate dress is essential when you're dealing with clients who judge your competence based on your appearance. The master bathroom features the steam shower and marble bathtub that I described earlier, plus additional luxury amenities that serve both practical and psychological functions. The medicine cabinet contains approximately 40 different skincare products and supplements and prescription medications that help maintain optimal physical and mental performance. The heated floors are Carrara marble that matches the bathtub and provides comfort during winter months when most people are struggling to afford heating bills. The steam shower has chromotherapy and aromatherapy functions, I explain while demonstrating the digital controls that adjust temperature and humidity and lighting and scent dispersal. It's basically a private spa that's available 24 hours a day without the inconvenience of dealing with other people or making appointments. Bradley nods approvingly while examining the Italian fixtures and German engineering that represent the intersection of old-world craftsmanship and modern technology. This is exactly the kind of luxury I've been looking for. Something that's impressive but not ostentatious. Expensive but not ridiculous. This response confirms that Bradley understands the subtle distinctions between different types of wealth display and social signaling. New money tends toward obvious luxury goods that advertise their cost through branding and flashy design elements. Old money prefers understated quality that's only recognizable to other people who understand craftsmanship in materials and manufacturing processes. The fact that Bradley appreciates subtlety suggests he might be trainable for higher-level social interactions. The guest bedroom is configured as a home office, I tell Bradley while leading him toward the room where I conduct business that requires privacy and discretion. The soundproofing is military-grade and the internet connection is fiber optic with redundant backup systems. The office contains computer equipment worth approximately $100,000, including multiple monitors and encrypted communication systems and trading platforms that provide access to global financial markets 24 hours a day. The desk is custom-made from Brazilian rosewood and the chair is a Herman Miller Aeron that provides optimal ergonomic support during 16-hour trading sessions. The walls are lined with first-edition books on finance and economics and military strategy that I've never read but that create an impression of intellectual sophistication. I do most of my cryptocurrency trading from this room, I explain while opening the software applications that display real-time market data and portfolio performance metrics. The setup allows me to monitor multiple exchanges simultaneously and execute trades faster than institutional investors who have to deal with compliance procedures and risk management protocols. Bradley's attention immediately focuses on the trading screens that show profit and loss statements and position sizes and leverage ratios that would be impossible to achieve through traditional financial institutions. This is an incredible setup. You're basically running a hedge fund from your apartment. The regulatory advantages must be enormous. That's exactly right, I confirm while thinking about how much money I could make if Bradley becomes a client who trusts me with his cryptocurrency investments. Individual traders can use strategies and leverage ratios that are prohibited for institutional investors. The profit potential is essentially unlimited if you understand market psychology and technical analysis. The kitchen tour focuses on the appliances and their theoretical capabilities for food preparation and other activities that require high temperatures and sharp instruments and easy cleanup. The knife collection includes Japanese steel and German steel and ceramic blades that are sharp enough to cut through bone and cartilage without leaving tool marks that could be analyzed by forensic investigators. The refrigerator and freezer provide adequate storage space for organic ingredients and other perishable items that require temperature control. The appliances are all commercial grade, I tell Bradley while demonstrating the Wolf range that burns hot enough to destroy DNA evidence if properly utilized. I do a lot of entertaining for business purposes and the kitchen needs to accommodate professional quality food preparation. The dining room features a table that seats 12 people and was carved from a single piece of Italian walnut that cost $30,000 before shipping and installation. The chairs are upholstered in leather that matches the sofa in the living room, and the lighting is provided by a chandelier from Baccarat that cost $18,000 and creates optimal ambience for business dinners where clients need to be impressed before they agree to invest their money in high-risk financial instruments. This is where I host private dinners for select clients, I explain while adjusting the dimmer switches that control the chandelier and wall sconces and cabinet lighting. The atmosphere is crucial when you're discussing investments that could change someone's entire financial future. By the time we complete the full apartment tour, Bradley's body language indicates that he's emotionally committed to purchasing the property even though he hasn't asked about price or financing or closing timeline. This is exactly the psychological state I was trying to create, because people make their best financial decisions when they're operating on emotion rather than logic. The apartment represents more than just living space. It represents membership in an exclusive social class that most people can never access regardless of their income or education or professional achievements. What do you think? I asked while leading Bradley back to the living room, where the evening light streaming through the windows creates the same dramatic effect that initially impressed him when he arrived. I love it, Bradley replies with the kind of enthusiasm that tech entrepreneurs display when they're discussing revolutionary new products or paradigm-shifting business models. This is exactly what I've been looking for. How quickly could we move forward with a purchase? That depends on several factors, I tell Bradley while calculating how much additional profit I can extract from this transaction beyond the $12.8 million asking price. Are you planning to pay cash or will you need financing? Do you have any timeline constraints? Are there any modifications or improvements you'd want to make before moving in? Bradley's answers confirm that he has sufficient liquid assets to complete the purchase without financing, and that he's flexible on timeline, and that he trusts my judgment regarding any modifications or improvements that might enhance the property value. This gives me multiple opportunities to generate additional revenue through markups on contractors and suppliers and project management fees that will ultimately cost Bradley several $100,000 more than necessary. I can pay cash, Bradley confirms while pulling out his phone to check his cryptocurrency portfolio balances. The Bitcoin appreciation over the past 6 months has given me enough liquidity to make this kind of purchase without touching my core holdings. This is exactly what I wanted to hear, because it confirms that Bradley's wealth is primarily held in volatile assets that could lose significant value if cryptocurrency markets experience another crash like the one that destroyed most altcoins in 2022. People who are liquid today might not be liquid tomorrow if their wealth is concentrated in speculative investments rather than diversified across multiple asset classes and geographic jurisdictions. Perfect, I tell Bradley while shaking his hand to confirm our mutual agreement. I'll have my attorney prepare the purchase agreement and we can schedule a closing within 30 days if that timeline works for your situation. The beautiful thing about selling real estate to cryptocurrency millionaires is that they're accustomed to making large financial decisions quickly without extensive due diligence or professional advice. Traditional real estate buyers usually involve attorneys and accountants and inspectors and appraisers who ask inconvenient questions about property history and market comparables and potential legal liabilities. Crypto buyers just want to convert their digital wealth into physical assets as quickly as possible before the next market crash wipes out their paper profits. After Bradley leaves, I spend 30 minutes cleaning the apartment and returning everything to its normal configuration. The showing generated approximately 15 minutes of actual conversation but will result in a $12.8 million sale plus additional fees and commissions that will increase my net worth by approximately $300,000. More importantly, it will provide me with access to Bradley's social network of other cryptocurrency entrepreneurs who might be interested in investment opportunities that generate higher returns than traditional financial instruments. The evening routine begins with a shower using La Mer body wash and continues with the same skincare regimen that I described in Chapter 1. While I'm applying various serums and moisturizers, I'm thinking about how much money I can make from Bradley and his associates once they trust me enough to share information about their investment strategies and risk tolerance and liquidity needs. Cryptocurrency millionaires are the perfect clients for someone who specializes in high-risk financial instruments because they're already comfortable with volatility and speculation and regulatory ambiguity. The dinner I prepare consists of Wagyu beef that costs $400 per pound and truffle oil that costs $300 per bottle and organic vegetables that cost more than most people spend on groceries in a week. While I'm eating, I'm reviewing my trading positions and calculating how much money I made today and planning tomorrow's market manipulation activities. The beef is so tender that it cuts easily with a butter knife, which makes me think about how satisfying it would be to test this same knife against human flesh to determine whether expensive steel performs better than cheap steel when used for non-culinary purposes. The apartment feels different now that I know it will soon belong to someone else. Every surface and fixture and architectural detail that I've enjoyed for the past 3 years will become Bradley's property within 30 days. But this doesn't create any sense of loss or nostalgia because I view real estate as just another financial instrument rather than an emotional attachment. The apartment served its purpose as a status symbol and investment vehicle, and now it will generate liquidity that I can use for other opportunities that provide higher returns and greater psychological satisfaction. By 11 p.m. I've completed my evening routine and settled into bed with my iPad to review cryptocurrency market data and social media engagement metrics and email communications from clients who need my expertise to structure complex financial transactions. The Hason's mattress provides optimal spinal alignment and temperature regulation while I'm planning tomorrow's activities, which will include money laundering for drug dealers and pension fund fraud for public employees and market manipulation for retail investors who trust me to protect their financial futures while I'm systematically destroying them for profit. The beautiful thing about being rich is that you can commit crimes on a global scale while maintaining the appearance of legitimate business activity. Poor people who steal money get arrested and prosecuted and imprisoned. Rich people who steal money get profiled in business magazines and invited to speak at conferences and appointed to government advisory committees. The difference isn't the crime itself, but the sophistication of the methods and the scale of the operations and the social connections that provide protection from law enforcement scrutiny. Tomorrow I'll make more money in a single day than most people make in their entire lifetimes. And I'll do it by exploiting the same psychological weaknesses and financial vulnerabilities that allow people like Bradley to trust people like me with their life savings. The cycle continues indefinitely because human nature never changes and greed always creates opportunities for people who understand how to manipulate greed in other people. Money flows from the naive to the sophisticated and from the trusting to the predatory and from the hopeful to the ruthless. And I'm always on the receiving end.